A couple of the people who have been stealing Puerto Rican tax money instead of fixing the power grid. I'm going to go ahead and say allegedly because I don't want to get sued or shot in the head. David Brownstein, a financial advisor on retainer for $850,000 per month. That's $28,000 a day. That is more than what the median salary of a Puerto Rican is in a year, which that number is 27,213, by the way. I did look it up. In total, Brownstein has made $50 million off Puerto Rican tax money. Consulting firm McKinsey and Company has been paid at least $300 million. And what do they have to show for it? Nothing. And then Proskauer Rose, a law firm headed by lead attorney Martin J. Bienenstock, that charges as much as $1,475 per hour. And in total, they have billed Puerto Ricans $355 million. I'm going to also go ahead and mention Arthur J. Gonzalez, the former chair of the FOMB, the Financial Oversight Management Board, that has helped facilitate all of this. They have helped funnel money out of Puerto Ricans' pockets and off the island into the bank accounts of these wealthy Wall Street lawyers. I don't know if this is a crime, but it kind of feels like it is. You could argue this is kleptocracy. Also, fun fact, Arthur J. Gonzalez and Martin J. Bienenstock were both involved in the Enron case. Gonzalez was the presiding bankruptcy judge and Bienenstock was the lead attorney for Enron. Share this with everybody you know so we can expose these people. And I did not myself.
Hey, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone whom we teach well. What is the purpose of us putting out these videos? We come across these videos, and though they may seem like, sometimes they may seem like basic videos, because these videos go up throughout the day, and of course we have our elders. Not everything is going to be super deep, and some of them are. But the purpose of these videos these are accusations that we present to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. These are cries for help. You go into the second chapter of Exodus, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai heard the cries of his people. And then he began to send Moses, his prophets. And what did his prophets do? They spoke the word, and through them speaking the word, which was fire, our enemies were burnt up, man. And so that's what this is. This isn't going to be a deep video, but this is an accusation. This is a cry for help, which is what calls upon the attention of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So I got a couple precepts here. This is Isaiah 42, verse 22. It says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled, man. It says, they are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith, restore. And that's how we know who the Israelites are. This video, what is one thing that these lawyers, these bankers had in common? It's that last name: Bernstein, Goldenstein, Baumstein, Goldberg, all kinds of stuff. Which, by the way, let's not forget that these people came up with their own last names, man. Scripture says that Israel is the salt of the earth. There ain't no salt in that damn name. Baumstein, Goldberg, just disgusting, blank, no flavor having people. That's how you know that they are not the people, man, because his people are a people robbed, man. And that video goes to show a perfect example of the kind of robbing being done. And that's, that is a cut for those, right wingers that will turn around and say, oh, well, all you got to do is just work hard. How can you work hard when your land is being pummeled and you have people stealing the money that should be going to your land here? Let's get some of these. I want to see if we pause it here. Let's see here. But we may not be. There you go. So this guy's last name is Gonzalez, by the way, and I mean, this ain't no damn, this ain't no no Gonzalez. He might be, this is a tear, man. You know, these we understand that in this world we are not going to have anything, man. Isaiah 41 verse 14, it says, "Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel." Man, we are called a worm here, man. And so through these curses, by us being able to go into the scriptures, we can establish that the people of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, would be a worm. The people that the true Hebrew Israelites would have no defense. That the true Hebrew Israelites would be operating under the curses. And so through what's the word that I'm looking here? Through process of elimination, we can see who the people aren't. All right, because the scripture says that Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, has a controversy in Zion. And what is that controversy, man? That controversy is the people that are saying that they are, the Most High's people. They are not, man. And we can clearly prove it through through the curses, man. Let's get Genesis 49 verse 22, because this video is specifically is dealing with the so-called Puerto Ricans. And who are those so-called Puerto Ricans? Well, that's the tribe of Ephraim, which is Joseph is synonymous. We know Joseph is synonymous with the tribe of Ephraim. It says Joseph is a fruitful bow, and when you go into that word bow, it's ban, which means son. And Ephraim as a tribe, so-called Puerto Ricans, they are known to have big families. It says even a fruitful son by a well. And so what's that going into? That's going into the landmass of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is surrounded by many waters, right? It's a small island whose branches run over the wall. That's them coming into the Americas. Verse 23, the archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. And who are those archers? Those archers are our enemies. Those archers are these people that this guy here, Martin J. Bienenstock. It's always the same group of people. It was those same archers, which were the Spaniards when they landed, right, in the island of the Taínos, right? That's what they were known as. And they put them into slavery, man. Go and search up the encomienda that they went through, man. But it just goes to show you that those same archers are still the same ones going after the Israelites, man. Because here it is, man. The land has been Puerto Rico was hit by hit by tornadoes, hit by earthquakes, and instead of helping them, same thing, that happens to the so-called Haitians, right? But instead of helping them, the people, a certain group of people come in, and they rob them, man. All right. This is Sirach 10, verse 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another, man. It's a well-known fact that, how these Edomites operate, man. They do these trusts. They get money from the government, and they say that it's going to go to help those less fortunate, and they all pocket it. The Hillary Clinton Foundation did the very same thing when it came to Haiti, man. And so these people, they prop themselves up. Well, they continue to prop themselves up, right? Because Daniel 4 verse 17 says that the Most High sets upon the world, the earth, whomsoever he wants, right? Even the basis of men. We understand that the blessing of these people is the fatness of the earth, but they continue to prop themselves up by stealing from us, and right, and then turning around and saying, oh well, we got this because we're smart, because we worked hard. No, you got it from stealing. You got it by your riches have been gotten by deceit, man. Woe to thee that. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. I didn't have that, but that one just came to mind. Woe to thee that spoilest, right? Spoilest and was not spoiled. Let's get yeah, that's Isaiah 33. Isaiah 33 verse 1. Woe, which goes into destruction. Woe to the destruction to thee that spoilest, and that was not spoiled, and dealt treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. These Puerto Ricans ain't dealing treacherously with you, right? And this can be applied towards all 12 tribes, man. None of us in our low state, none of us in our low state dealt treacherously with you. So-called Native Americans, when you landed in America, they clothed you. They taught you how to farm. They taught you how to survive in so that you can make it through the Canadian cold time, man. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And let's get one thing straight, man. America, Esau, Edom, they are not going to cease to spoil because they're going to say, oh, I'm done. No, because Habakkuk 2 verse 5 says that they are as death and hell, they cannot be filled. So when will they cease to spoil? The only way, the only time these people are going to cease to spoil is when their power is taken from them. And we see that happening now. That's why that dude Pete Hegg said he gathered his generals so that he can kind of pump them up. Why? Because they see this place is fallen, man. So let's not get it twisted that these people are going to come up right now, because in that same chapter, Habakkuk 2, I think it's the second verse. I'm not going to get it. It says his spirit is not upright in him. So he's not going to cease to spoil because he has a epiphany. No, he's going to cease to spoil because the hammer of the earth is going to be broken asunder. The scripture goes into that. And so when that finally happens, because in Jeremiah 50, it says that this whore is going to try to give her hand. What does that mean? When if you do a search on Google during wartime, when you give your hand, that's like them trying to surrender. No. This place is trying to give her hand, but it's only trying to give her hand because the left hand's not dealing with these people anymore. It says, when thou shalt cease to spoil, then shalt thou be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. And that's what's coming. You got 1,000 years of captivity coming your way because you've gotten everything by gain. You've gotten everything by deceit. That's why it says this kingdom is translated from one people to another, and the kingdom of heaven is going to be put on this earth, man. And that translation of power, that goes into 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9, all right? Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. This kingdom, this rulership, this dominion is being translated from Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed whites, to the Israelites, all right, to Jacob, okay, so-called blacks, natives, and Hispanics, starting with Yahushua, going down to King David, and to the elect, man. All right, this is coming to you. All right, everybody's doing it, man. Everybody is stealing from us, man. All right, and that's okay because the scripture says none shall buy thee, right? Because Yahweh he's not coming down here as a man. He's not meaning these people as a man, but these people have seen everyone rob from us, and so they're doing the very same thing. Ecclesiasticus in that same chapter, chapter 10, verse 2, says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. All these politicians, these presidents, the scripture is saying that the same way that the ruler is the same way that the people are going to be. Everyone sees how America has plundered the world, specifically the Israelites. That's why he's sending ICE after the Israelites. That's why he's sending the National Guard to Chicago, which goes into the Southern Kingdom, right? Everyone sees that we have been plundered, and it's become normal. Nobody bats their eye when they see, a poor Israelite. This has become normal, man. Lamentations 2 verse 1, they clap their hands and they hiss at us, saying, is this the beauty of the Most High? This has become normal, man. And that's why everybody does it, because uh, uh, that's why these bankers are taking from money that should be going to the Puerto Ricans. Doesn't How can you justify billing that much? What he said, he's billing like 20,000 per hour or something like that. I'm not going to play it back, but how it's some extravagant number, man. And again, it just goes to show who the wicked are. Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Who else could do this? All right, because Genesis 27 verse 39 goes into the blessing of Esau. Edom, says that he would have the fatness of the earth. Who else can do this? Who else can set up these extraordinary cost of representing themselves as lawyers and then bill these extravagant amounts in another in another part of the world? Now, yeah, for those scoffers, well, Puerto Rico is part, yes, it is a territory of the United States, but for you to not only be able to do this in your own home turf, but then for you to consistently be able to go and do this in Ukraine, in Canada, in the UK, for you to have these puppet governments, it just shows that you are the wicked. Revelation 17 and verse 15 says that the whore that sits upon the many waters, those waters are representative of people, man. That's how you can prove who this wicked is. And I want to begin to close out with this word here because he brought it up, kleptocracy. And that's exactly what this is. That's exactly what Babylon is. Babylon is a full kleptocracy. It's a society or a system ruled by people who use their power to steal their country's resources. Habakkuk 2 and 5, because he transgresses by one. Let's just go ahead and pull it. I keep paraphrasing these precepts. Let's go ahead and pull it. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Let's let the scripture speak. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine. And what is that wine? That wine is the philosophy, because that's how this man has taken over this world. The same way that Rome did. And that's how we can, Revelations 13 goes into, the image of the first beast, because Rome would go into these other kingdoms, and basically, hey, we're here to help you, but then they would take from them their resources, man. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine, and that's what America does. That's why they're attacking. Um, that's why they're beginning to attack Asher, or the land of Venezuela, because what? Because Venezuela didn't want to bend the knee. They're rich in oil, and because they didn't want to bend the knee, what did America do? They applied sanctions. And when you apply sanctions, you're not applying sanctions on the president. You're applying those sanctions affect the day-to-day citizens, man. So think about that, because the president of Venezuela didn't do what these Edomites wanted him to do. Now Edom is making the day-to-day citizens pay for that, man. And that's a crazy, disgusting war tactic, man, because now he's punishing the people, hoping that the people are going to turn against the president, man. Said, because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. This man cannot be satisfied. He's got the whole world is under control, but yet he still wants Russia. He still wants Ukraine. He still wants Canada. He still wants Greenland. He still wants the Panama Canal. He still wants Venezuela. He still wants to chip you. He still wants to poison the air. He still wants to this earth is not enough for him. He still wants to go to Mars. He still wants to go to the moon. He wants to put up more satellites. This bastard has to go, man. All right? And we are not going to be saved by voting. We're not going to be saved by joining some social movement. We are going to be saved by crying out to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and Him hearing our cries. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and close with that. I mentioned it earlier, but we'll go ahead and get it. This is Exodus. Where's it at? What is that? Exodus. It's towards the end, right here. Exodus 2 verse 23 says, "And it came to pass in the process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage, and they cried, and the cry came upon to the Most High by reason of the bondage. And the Most High heard their groaning, and the Most High remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, with Jacob. And the Most High looked upon the children of Israel, and the Most High had respect unto them." And that's what we're doing. We are setting these videos up because this is our cry. And Ecclesiastes 1:9 says that there's nothing new under the sun. The same way that he heard our cry in ancient Egypt, he's going to hear our cry in spiritual Edom, according to Revelation 11 verse 8. Okay, so we're not going to vote our way out. We need to continue to pray. We need to continue to do our videos. And we need to continue to lock in and cry out to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. That's the only way out. Until the next one, Shalom.